I just got lucky.
This is so wonderful for you.
Well, you might want to tell JJ to make a little more wall space. Oh, good morning. It's a beautiful day, huh?
My vids are authentic.
You gotta see it as it is.
It's funny you should say that, because I was looking through some old photos and it looks very, similar.
Okay. Well, I gotta get back to work.
You're trash.
Excuse me?
Your picture's a fake.
You are such a Boy Scout. When are you gonna give a guy a break?
Well, it is good to see you guys again after such a long hiatus away from YouTube. I assure you, I was doing normal things like contributing to society and doing my laundry, making soup. What are some other things that people with souls do? Was really all I could come up with, so if you guys think of anything else, be sure to let me know in the comments. You're probably wondering why I've slithered out of my little cave today. Originally I had a different video idea planned for today, but this one sounded like it'd be more fun to make, so here we are. For those of you out of the loop, for those of you out of the Battlefront 2 content creator scheme, there seems to be a storm brewing. A storm that could very well transmute into an unnecessary but entertaining war. So I thought it'd be a good idea to sit down and share this story with you all today, and interject a little bit of my own thoughts as well. It's also because I got name dropped and I'm in my early 20s, which is an age filled with arrogance and rage. So, what is this situation, you may ask? Well, now that you're all gathered around the campfire, you've got your hot chocolate and your warm blankie, I suppose it's high time we begin. It's a story that centers around this guy. Some of you may know him, he goes by the name of Aysoka. Seems like a cool dude from what little time I had with him over party chat. Makes content on 1v1s in Battlefront 2, dismantling toxic clans, and creaming on 9-year-olds. Hold up, that one doesn't really sound right. He 1v1s 9-year-olds and feeds them their teeth. There, that sounds better. As I said in my Battlefront YouTuber tier list, you see a thumbnail and a title, it's appealing. And when you jump in, you expect some juicy content, and that is, for the most part, what you receive. Which is an opinion many people share. As a result, he racks in most of the views out of any Battlefront-centered channel on YouTube right now. The year is 2021, the day October 4th. A YouTuber by the name of Ham Solo releases a video titled, "So I Just Exposed the Biggest Battlefront YouTuber, ... parenthesis Aysoka." I'll put a link for it in the description, definitely give it a view. In it, he presents evidence of Aysoka faking several different things in his videos. Some of which include the fact that the supposed 9-year-old in the video isn't actually 9 at all. We see here that the name of the teabagging boba is blurred out to, quote, protect his identity, but the length of this blurred name changes throughout the video. Eventually, the true identity of the boba was discovered.
Basically, this guy found some footage of the exact same match from Aysoka's video, and when the player checks the scoreboard, he's able to cross-reference all the usernames and find out the name of the boba that teabagged him.
And in Aysoka's original video, we get a voice message from the supposed kid.
Bro, this kid is like 9 years old. Just listen to the voicemail he sent me.
You really think I'm not good by myself? I'm better than you. You think I need to hide behind sabers the whole game? Why do you want me right now?
And funny enough, this boba actually makes content on YouTube. And I'll leave it up to you to decide whether this guy sounds like the 9-year-old from the voice message or not.
The Anakin is getting to me. Why am I the only fucking one doing this? For fuck's sake!
And later in the video, Aysoka goes on to beat the 9-year-old in a duel, which is probably just some kid in showdowns. And if we just take a little step back and see what lengths Aysoka went to make sure kicking this kid's ass flew under like the truth radar, deleting debunking comments, creating fake DMs, and blurring out names, it's pathetic, yes, but it's also pretty fucking hilarious. In another video titled, I Snuck into a Battlefront 2 tournament. Apparently, that pro tournament, you know, the one that the entire video is based on, wasn't even a real thing.
What really happened is we were just running a bunch of friendly 1v1s with a random from one of our group chats who, you know, turned out to be a cucka. So the fact that he would call it a pro tournament is
very, very weird, right?
To branch off just a tad, I want to point out the frequency in which Aysoka labels somebody a pro. Like when a pro challenges him to a 1v1. The dude in that video is my boy Moist Soup. Now I mean zero disrespect to Moist. We fought side by side on many different occasions, but when you factor in a lot of different top players, I wouldn't exactly bestow the title of pro onto him. Definitely a good player, don't get me wrong. So maybe my definition is just a bit more strict. That one's just up to interpretation. But let's take a look right here. So the number 1 ranked Battlefront 2 player challenged me to a 1v1. Very interesting. I didn't know that there was a website that accurately tracks the duelist pecking order in a game that is light years away from being anywhere near balanced. Oh wait, there isn't! But fortunately we have Aysoka, so we get a look at the top 4 best people in the world. Number 1 being Celest QB. Now I've heard from many higher ups in the dueling game that he's pretty good, but not the best. And when you also factor in that he denied being the best after the video dropped, this top 4 ranking starts to look a bit sus. Number 2 is Napalmed.
Never heard of it.
Just kidding, the streams are pretty enjoyable. Go drop a sub. Number 3 is Rey, an incredible duelist, but correct me if I'm wrong. He does his fighting on PC, and these guys fool around with console. So this list not only encompasses everyone in the world, but also stacks people no matter what their outlet is. And that's a bit strange, because dueling is a whole different ballgame on PC. So unless we have recorded duels between every combination of these players on PS4 and PC, we add even more sus to this list. And finally at number 4 in the world we have me. Now Aysoka, this is very flattering, but I'm assuming the reason I'm so high up on this list is because when we dueled, it basically looked like this.
You fight like a younger man. There's nothing held back. It's admirable, but mistaken. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
And right now I'm kind of getting those same vibes from the Moist Soup video, where part of your criteria for pro seems to be supported based on how many max levels you have.
One of the most skilled Battlefront 2 players I have ever seen play this game. I mean, he has 8 different max characters.
And if we're basing skill on levels, oh mommy do I have some junk in the trunk. But that's not how things work. Here's a little secret, guys. I've fought some of the best duelists on PS4. Definitely more that I haven't fought. I'd say that I'm highly above average when it comes to dueling, but do I even make it top 10? Of course not. I'd wager I'm in the mid-20s, maybe mid-30s, and that's being very generous. So in short, you could say this list fucking sucks so far, but wait, there's more. There's a 5th person who goes by the name of 100% Real Rankings Trust Me. Well, doesn't that just completely shut down any criticism towards this list? First class move, Aysoka. It kinda reminds me of Aussie Jedi, where the thumbnail and title hook are shamelessly manufactured to get as many clicks as possible. And then when you realize your hook has no merit, you plant a little cushion in case the viewers grow wise to the deception. An absolute alpha play. Now others have made claims that the supposed live gameplay on his channel is voiced over, which doesn't bother me too much because it feels like a lot of YouTubers do that, and it's hard to find concrete evidence that supports that claim. What does bother me though, is that in some of these videos he fucks up his lines, where the commentary is after the fact, totally scripted, when he knows there is no 9-year-old kid and is trying to sell you the audience a story. So you'd think he'd care enough to actually get a good take in.
Trying to get his squad pulled into the same game as me.
But honestly, it does make a lot of sense for somebody who cuts so many corners in the process of content creation.
And I know the title says it was a 1v4, but I did have 2 other teammates on my team, so it was really a 3v4.
To not give a rat's ass about fumbling their scripted commentary. Now that this information has seeped into the cracks of the community, what do things look like? Well, the video exposing Aysoka has gained relative traction, bringing some familiar faces to the scene. And most have the reasonable reaction of, oh wow, it's decently pathetic to fabricate toxic events and tournaments in a game that has no shortage of both. But on the other side of that spectrum, there's a small collective of people who have a different, little bit more strange and quirky outlook on the matter. One of those people being my old pal Frankie. Now, a video was recently posted by a small but decently known channel, featuring a narrative on why those of us that criticize Aysoka are wrong for doing so. You may be sitting there going, well, that sounds like a very stupid video, and you're absolutely right. So I'd like to dissect it with you all today, because I think it'll be a fun brain exercise. In the first couple of minutes, he establishes who Aysoka is, then details his past dealings with him. Projects the two of them have been involved with, which sounds like a plug, but I wouldn't go that far. That is until you just scroll down to the comments and see the pinned comment is a video link featuring him and Aysoka. So already we have some possible bias, but when you start paying attention to the structure of some of these thumbnails and titles, you start to see a real, how do I put this, aura of ass kissing that you'd think would affect the ability to come at this from an objective vantage point, but maybe I'm just crazy.
He's like a nice guy. He doesn't, thinks highly of himself. At least back then, he was already 15,000 or 20,000 subs. Now he's like, as I said, 90,000 subs. So
we're already off to a great start. I really like that obvious audio cut into a tongue sound effect. It really gives you that comfy feeling of being inside of this guy's mouth. Before we dive into the guts of this video, I also want to say that I love the TED Talk echo he's got going on. Maybe he thought it would make everything sound more professional, but without the aid of a laugh track, it ends up just giving me those bombing comedian vibes.
Let's be honest, the only reason, the game is still somehow relevant among the community members is because of people like him and Frankie.
The only reason this game is relevant is because of people like Aysoka and Frankie. Ah, yes, it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that it's a Star Wars game that goes on sale every other month. Oh, you're a fan of Star Wars and video games? No, I think you meant you're a tier 3 patron of Frankie. Don't worry, it's a common mistake.
Is because of people like him and Frankie. Vorpal has already milked the crap out of the How to Max videos, Okay, we get it, Wednesday, triple XP, go farm, go up. That's all it is, You don't need to make, 66 videos about it.
Buddy, some YouTubers like to have an ongoing series, a structure, a backbone. I understand how the concept of that may seem repetitive, but if you only did a small amount of research into my videos, you'd know that it's not as cookie cutter as play co-op on triple XP. There's deep strategies to every grind, and I made it my goal to inject a healthy amount of memes to spice things up. At the beginning of the series, I only planned to do a max guide on Bosk, but when that video kinda blew up and people just kept wanting more and more, I made it a promise early on that I'd do every single hero. Because not only did people want it, but also because there's people that, believe it or not, main all kinds of heroes and need that sweet XP. It was an ongoing series that was occasionally interrupted by videos nothing like it. But if you call that milking...
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
And if we're calling a 25 video series devoted to XP repetitious, what would you call the over 70 EXEs on your best friend Frankie's channel? Oh my bad. He's the guy that gives you clout and features you in several different videos. I see the difference. But his perception of my content wasn't always like this. I actually did a few streams with this guy, and Frankie, but as you can probably tell, something bad happened. Well, at the very end of what I believed to be a perfect 8-hour stream, Jarman had this to say.
Alright, I'm down.
Whoa, hey man. Whoa.
And in the effort to dodge a potential strike on my channel, I deleted the 8-hour stream and told Jarman that I didn't want to work with somebody who walks that close to the line. And rather than accept this choice, he just flat out denied ever saying this and went on to call me a Karen to my close friend, which is a play you can make. Not sure what the overall plan there was. Claims were made that it was actually this Ethiopian word, but in the video you don't hear a U or an S, you hear the ER, which even if unintentional, YouTube and viewers who take offense to that word will see it one way, joke or not. And that isn't something I want lingering on my channel, even if the previous 7 hours of that stream were perfect. So now that we know this dude doesn't like me for cutting him out in an effort to keep a professional work environment, we can kind of start to see why he's coming at my content from this angle. It's simple. He no longer has anything to gain from being publicly nice to me. There is no more clout for me to provide. And I believe a reflective variant of this trait to be present in another individual that I'll get to in just a minute.
All bizarre, playing campaign 4 years after the game was launched, commenting on another 20-minute lame Medicore 1v1 duels. So when you have people talking about, oh, Aysoka's content is fake or is bad, what do you have instead? What do you have to watch instead? What do you recommend? Okay, as I said, I don't watch YouTubers on Battlefront.
So, he says when you say Aysoka is fake or bad, what other channels do you have to watch instead? Basically saying he's the best Battlefront content shipper out there right now. And then not even 2 seconds later, he says, oh, I don't watch really anybody that does Battlefront.
I basically don't check anyone. I couldn't be bothered. When you compare Aysoka's, blowing videos about, oh, I 1v1 this toxic player, I did this, I did that, stuff that you wouldn't see usually on the Battlefront YouTubers.
Really? You think that videos devoted to toxic 1v1s are exclusive to Aysoka? It's pretty much the meta right now in terms of Battlefront content today, and you're not exactly out of the clear when it comes to putting toxic in the title, buddy. But above that, it is so strange to generalize all Battlefront content creators right after saying you couldn't be bothered to watch any of them. What?
I don't have a hate boner for Aysoka because every YouTuber is gonna go out of their way to milk some content they do. As I mentioned, Vorpal how to max videos.
So he says he doesn't have a problem with Aysoka because every YouTuber is going to milk their videos. None of us said he was milking anything. You're probably the only person that has ever said that. The issue people have is that the videos were marketed in reality, but are at their core shamelessly fabricated. At this point, I feel like your definition of repetitive and milking are really loose. You say I milk mine, you talk about how Starbazar milks his dueling videos, when he does all kinds of different shit, and for some reason you address that you don't hate Aysoka because every YouTuber is going to milk their content. I have no idea what's going on, or where the hell the narrative is now. Most of me wants this entire video to be real, and not just a joke, but at the same time, there's no way, right? There's just no way. But fortunately, we have a little bit left in the video to hopefully clear things up.
So, I just don't like to see someone, getting hate over just, doing, I don't know, let's say a fake video. It's not even fake, he puts into his videos.
It's not fake because he put thought into it. At this point, guys, I think all logic has just gone completely out the window. It knocks me off my feet to think that that sentence was thought of by another human being, and above that, said out loud to people that may hear it. And the final level above that was also recording at the time of saying it. WWE isn't fake. There's thought that goes into that. Breast implants aren't fake. The doctor had to think about the surgery. There was money into it. The doctor had to think about his job. Fake tits aren't fake, dude. But there is 3 minutes left to this video, so maybe we'll reach a coherent thought by the end of it. Who knows?
If you don't care about this, then, well, I guess just be nice to people, because it really affects, man. And yeah, make sure to check the videos we made with them. I'm gonna include in the pinned comment, and shorts, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, get down.
So unfortunately, we don't get a concept conclusion in this portion of the manga. But what we do get is a shameless plug, and whatever the fuck this was. But wait, I thought you said there was 3 minutes left. Well, what is it exactly? Why, it's a duel that him and I had on Tatooine. One of the only duels in our whole set where he escaped alive. By winning, you mean? No, by drawing the round. This was, in his eyes, the best footage of us going toe-to-toe that he could possibly find, which I find decently comedic.
It's about time. Come on.
What's up?
It's about time someone, tries to copy.
Yeah. Some lucky boy doesn't even upload, dude. He has an opportunity to, upload, but he doesn't.
Why you guys want to do 2v2s?
We made it to the end of the video, which I think I can speak for all of us when I say it kind of feels like this. I'd like to say something witty about the video we just watched, tie it in a little bow with a mic drop and all, but my brain is still recovering from It's not even fake because he put some thought into his videos. But what do the comments look like for this video? Well, one stuck out to me.
I really don't understand the hate on Aysoka and content creators going out of their way to trash on Aysoka. Dude makes one of the best content on Battlefront 2. He actually pumps out quality content over shitty videos every day. IDK, some people are just hating at this point, which is quite sad.
Let me ask you guys a question. Why do people like Star Wars? It's a wonderful story rooted in fantasy that speaks to people all over the world. Does anyone believe Revenge of the Sith actually happened? No, they would be severely delusional to entertain such a thought. No one here is campaigning on the basis that Aysoka's content sucks overall, because it doesn't. And to deny that aspect rejects the reality of his channel's popularity. Now let me ask you guys another question. What phrase in the horror movie genre can change the entire aura of a movie, can sell tickets like it's nothing, and give you approximately 50% more nightmares after the credits roll?
Yes! Yes! No! 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 Fuck! Shit!
See, we usually go into horror movies involving the supernatural with the notion that none of it is real or ever happened, but we're still able to feel suspense and get scared in the process. But when you tack that little phrase on, for many people, not everybody, it changes the entire vibe and gives an air of authenticity. It amplifies the scares and gets people's eyes glued to the screen. Wait, this actually happened? This could actually happen to me? These protagonists actually existed? Hold on, allow me to subconsciously plant myself in their shoes and care for them more. The power of based on a true story is undeniable. Now let's reflect this thought completely. When we dive into a piece of media like a YouTube video involving a toxic human interaction in a video game, what are the basic beliefs we have going in? That it is highly likely, almost certainly rooted in truth. We compare our experiences with the given video game and tell ourselves something similar happened to me, something similar happened to other YouTubers, and those experiences happened in the realm of reality. The common baseline in turning on a new horror movie is, this is fictitious and I'm ready to be scared. The common baseline in turning on a YouTube video featuring a toxic interaction is, this is real and I'm ready to relate, connect to the story, and become more entertained in the process. But similar to the added spice of based on a true story, when you take away the reality aspect of a story you walk into thinking is true, it creates an undeniable disconnect between content creator and viewer. And to not understand that criticism is pretty fucking dense. We all know that stories rooted in fiction can be boundlessly entertaining. But when a creator knowingly markets content in truth and deletes comments that could jeopardize the effectiveness of that marketing, that is where people start to have a problem. And to dismiss that as just hating, I believe, is the part that is actually quite sad. What the fuck? My desk is like wet, bro. Yuck. That's like pretty much all I have for you guys today. The big PC is coming in about 3 weeks. So after that, uploads are going to be pretty consistent. What am I doing in the next one? Oh yeah. If it's going to feature a blindfold and lots of alcohol. So that one should be fun. Obviously, thank you so much for sticking to the end. It means a lot, giving me that sweet, sweet watch time. So happy I can be of entertainment on either sides of the spectrum. Not mentally, just if you hate me or you don't hate me, that type of spectrum. And with that being said, it's time to say, with that being said, for the third time in the last 30 seconds, and take my leave. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful goddamn day. Peace.